So one of the things that we've added more recently too is the dynamic section. Now the dynamic section transits, progressions and solar arcs. So here are some that it comes with. So you've got your lunar transits, your transits of your outer planets, your inner planets. I've done transiting Pluto. You can create your own. So if we just choose transits of outer planets, what you need to recognise in this dynamic section is that you can just run it. So you can run one that's already there. Now you'll see that's not in date order. And that's because, see this little box here? Select the report sort order. Now I've put it in waiting. One of the ways I love to look at my transit reports is what we call waiting, which basically takes the outer planet to the inner planet. Sorry, the people outside distracting me. So the slowest moving point to the fastest moving point, because I think they're the ones that are really pretty powerful in our lives. But of course, you can easily switch it back to date. So let's see what's Meghan Markle got happening at the moment. Well, it's gone back to the beginning of April, but we can see here around the 17th of April, she's got, look at this. I mean, we knew that anyway because the node's at 11 degrees of Leo. And this, I've just clicked on this and it's brought up a transit interpretation, by the way, but you don't have to read that if you don't want to. You can do your own. But, you know, she's pretty much on destiny at the moment, isn't she? And then we can even go down to... but I find things don't always happen unless it's a Uranus transit. It doesn't always happen to the date. It can happen, some people, especially if you're a Taurus, you'll start to feel Uranus already coming into Taurus because you'll be going, oh my God, what's changing? I don't want things to change. Or you might be doing the other, oh yes, somebody's birthday this week. And I'm glad to say Julie's birthday this week and she's nodding. So that's good. I mean, I'm not sure if that is good for you, but it's good for me. It's affirmation. Oh, that's good. That's good. But if it's not a Uranus transit, I think sometimes it can take a bit longer, which is why I like to say, well, what's in influence at the moment? And I go to waiting and we see Pluto, she's got her Pluto square Pluto. There are several things that I would have, if she'd come to me as an astrologer, I would have said, oh, I don't think now's the right time for you to be getting married. Try and take it a bit more slowly. You've got Saturn square moon, Saturn opposite Mars coming up. But on the other hand, you could argue that moving into the royal family is a huge Saturnian and a huge Saturn square moon type experience. So, correct. She's moving into the firm, yes. And, you know, we see here the Saturn in conjunct Mercury. There's a real sense of having to let go of her way of doing or thinking or presenting or communicating even. And, you know, coming up next year, Saturn trine Venus, which is a bit more positive. Now, you can come into this dynamic section and create your own. And basically, you'll see if you clicked on those three little dots there, you'll see you can copy one, you can edit one and change it. You might think, well, I don't actually want the nodes in there, or I do. And when we edit, and we edit again, we'll edit that one. You'll see here you can come in again. These three little dots, they give you the different points to select, the different selected aspects that you want. You know, I think one of the areas that I find people have the most strong opinions about which aspects to include. And sorry, Noel Till, but Quindachili has been the bane of my life. And the other one is orbs, you know, whether you have a 2-degree orb or a 3-degree orb. So this is where you can come in and set it to do exactly what you want. And you can include, I mean, I've created a whole lot in Solar Fire, and I'm going to do it here. You can include something for your sun sign columns, or something to see when, you know, a planet ingresses into a sign or a house. And also, it's handy to have the planetary stations in here as well. And this is also where you can, as I said before, hang on, I'll just go out of here. You can create your own, and as you can see, you can do solar arcs, progressions. I've created progressed lunar phases. You can do a whole lot of things in here. Just got to check the time. Now, the other way of doing your dynamic astrology, as I like to call it, which is, you know, kind of my way of saying astrology on the move, is to come back to, and we'll get rid of the dial, and we'll come back here and click on the wheel. And the other thing I should just mention is this little clock. So you can actually just have a little clock here. But we'll come back here to select charts. And the other way of doing transits and progressions, as I touched on before, is you can now click on 2 charts. And that's not what I want to be there. Keith, this is a note to the editor. Cut that bit out, please. Sure. As it's somebody's chart who should not be there. Let's try Prince Harry, so that he's next on the list. We'll start at that little section again, just for the video. The other way is to come in here and actually have 2 charts or even 3 charts. And see how it automatically took, because it's the 3rd chart, Meghan Markle, and did her secondary progressions for today. And we might want to keep that as Prince Harry, and see how that is. I've got it set so it's different colours. Remember I showed you in before about having different colours? You might not want the different colours. I just find that as a visual type person, I really like it. And I've just set the middle one to transits. I went to select, and this is the one bit that if you take nothing else away from today, is going into this select part is similar in each one of the Astro Golds, and it's so powerful once you see what's actually there. Subsidiary chart, we're going to look at it in a minute, has got so many charts that you can actually, actions you can do to your chart. But this is your dynamic section here. So now you've got Meghan Markle on the inside. We've got her transits in the middle, and we see, suddenly we start to make sense of, okay, she's got Mars transiting her descendant. Remember we saw, where did we see Mars before? And I said in the Fedaria. We start to see I'm not doing an astrology lesson today, I'm doing you already know it, but we're doing a demo of software. But the point is, you start to see with this software, the Fedaria, she's in a Mars Fedaria. Why is she getting married in a Mars Fedaria? Mars, okay, it moves, faster than other planets, but it is in her 7th house, and her progressed moon. I'm pointing at a screen, I should be doing this. And her progressed moon, and see how, if I click on that, it was doing it before, it's not now. But we can see her progressed moon is also in the 7th house, and that's always a very powerful statement about what people want or don't want. She knows what she wants. It might be a case of careful what you wish for, but she knows what she wants at this point in time. Her moon's in the 7th house, it's in Capricorn, it's progressing. She's had time to think about who she wants to marry, what sort of person she wants to marry. She's happy with this decision. She's happy moving forward, or she's comfortable, because that's where her progressions are. There, it did it again. See that little ring? I like that, how it's highlighted. So that's the...
So what does it mean when it's highlighted? It'll give you an interpretation, will it? Or when you...
it's just highlighting the point that you're hovering over.
So it's easier to identify.
Yep. But if you double click, it will give you...
Yeah, then it gives you... See how it says...
Yeah, that's because it's progressed.
Okay.
The moon is progressed, so it's got interpretations of the moon, but there's no interpretations for progressed south node. I actually don't know what that means, and until I've done a whole lot of research on it. Yes, Deb has a question.
You could swap the transits for the progressed too.
Yes. So if you don't like it the way I've got it, just swap.
I like that little function.
And see, it's giving you here, if you just had 2, but now it's actually giving you, I want to swap 2 and 3. And now, and because I've colour coded it, I now know.
Does Solify have that option too?
Don't think it has it with the 3.
No. I don't remember seeing it.
And that's what's going to happen. This is going to start to have like Chart Explorer and those sorts of swap things. More because of the nature of a Mac, more of those sort of things where you can just click.
And I like that.
The other thing that I don't use very much, but I want to touch on before we get into the last little section, is the Ephemeris, the graphic Ephemeris, which is in Astro Gold for macOS. So if we click on there...
So what was that called? That was just Ephemeris, wasn't it?
Yeah, graphic ephemeris and we click on run. And this is something a lot of astrologers use. Yeah, I don't use it much myself, but you've got your options here. You've got your little setting button for what you can even show. This is kind of handy, the lunations.
Wow.
So that's kind of nice. I like that. But you've got here your degrees that you can use. So you might want to just look at your 90-degree aspects. And you've also, as I said, you've got things that you can do here. So we could just look at the lunar transits for 3 days and run that. Not that that's very exciting, but you get the idea of what that's another powerful tool in Astro Gold for macOS. Okay.